small field of 7, 5 of the Group 1 winners. It is class with a capital C, and can't wait to see this race. Of course, being affected by the rain-affected track. Let's go into the Manning Yard and have a look at the runners for the Pro Ride Warwick Stakes. One is a scratching, and a multiple Doncaster winner starts our coverage, and that is Sacred Falls.
If he'd had a run under his belt, I'd nearly just label him. The only worry is he's just that little bit soft. You have a look at him, he's a bit burly, but I know that he's, Chris has been on record with TVN on a couple of occasions saying him and Royal Descent are the Cox Plate horses and a low flying. He's a quality horse. He ran down Piero here in the Doncaster on a heavy track. He looks happy within himself. Yes, he's going to improve with this run under his belt, but he's ready to rock and roll. Today, just weather, the conditions, he's only concerned.
Number 3 is a scratching. 4 is Tiger Tease. Well, his half-brother was breathtaking, Terra Vista winning the previous. Can he go back-to-back for Joe Pride? And wouldn't it be good to see Tiger Tease win another big one?
Well, he's got a one advantage. He's up and running. He's had the one run back. He loves wet ground, and he's going to lead and lead unopposed. The worry is going to be the last 80 metres, whether the class of the opposition is going to run over top of him. But Joe had to run him here today. This is the perfect race for him. Wet track and no leaders.
Many punters will think this is probably the 3rd stringer of Chris Waller's stable, maybe the 4th stringer in HAWKSPUR. Ty Anglin takes the ride.
Yeah, well, it's the 4th in the betting, and a long way after the other 3. He's had a run back. HAWKSPUR, he was good. He handles wet ground, and that run back will stand him in good stead. Chris's horse has improved sharply from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 back in a spell. He's bouncing around here. Have a look at him. He's bouncing, the big boy.
6 is a scratching. 7 is a 10-year-old. My Kingdom of Fife. Now, this would be a fair training performance to get a 10-year-old to win first up.
It's been a fair training performance from to do what he's done in Australia already. He's going to improve fitness-wise. I wouldn't surprise if he ran a cheeky race here, but look, last preparation he just put a line through after having such a long time off it. He just never really got into the group. This is a wait and see.
Number 8 is Weary. Brett Nevdalla, Chris Waller combined, second up from a spell, a lightly raced type who did a terrific job last prep, getting placed at Group 1 level.
Well, 3rd in a Doncaster. He was beaten 3 lengths behind Sacred Falls on that occasion, if you might remember. And on that occasion, Sacred Falls had to give him 5 kilos. You're thinking, hang on, how could he beat him? Well, Weary's up and running. He's had the one run back, and he looks to be the one that sits on the back of the leader and gets the right run. He looks well. That run's really tightened him up.
We've already seen Sebring Sire, one of the winners today on a rain-affected track. It's no concern for number 9, Criterion, the Derby winner.
And a good tip around for him here. Hugh Bowman's on him. He stays with him after winning, running. He's been up in the top echelon for 2-year-olds and then 3-year-olds. So, look, he's more forward than I was expecting when he walked in the yard here, Criterion. This fella in his trial was very good over 1,000. Come here trying to oppose him, but starting to think that he's a player.
Number 10 is a scratching, and the Oaks winner of a couple of seasons ago. Number 11, Royal Descent, absolutely likes it wet as well.
Loves it wet. Her condition's the only thing. She's carrying that little bit of excess Royal Descent. She loves Randwick, been here 6 times, only missed a place on one occasion. I just wonder whether they sprint and they leave her flat-footed is a concern, but she has got a lot of quality about her. My tips here in the feed. Number 2, Sacred Falls. He's won 2 Donnies. Tommy Berry's on board, who won the first Doncaster on him as a 3-year-old before Zach Burton won the Donny on him last year. Tommy's hoping to prove a point before Zach comes back, but I think Tommy's got that Dan XL and one of those others heading towards a Cox Plate, but Zach Burton, and I know Zach's listening because I've seen him on Twitter with hats aching. He'll be back and he'll want to be part of Sacred Falls heading towards a Doncaster.
And I would argue that Sacred Falls' best career run was when it was runner-up. Didn't it really push a star in Dundee and the Queen Elizabeth?
I think he's a better horse than Dundee. He still hadn't matured. This next preparation is going to be his best. Rightio, market mover is number 2, Sacred Falls. It's your market mover in front of number 8, Weary. Rightio, let's head upstairs. This is the feature of the day. It's the Group 2 Pro Ride Warwick Stakes. It's a big lead towards some big spring races. Here's Mark Sheen.
And they'll start to bring them forward in just a moment for the running of race number 6, the Pro Ride Warwick Stakes, over 1,400 metres. So all the runners have assembled behind the various stalls at the 1,400. Sacred Falls $4 into $3.70. Tiger T 6 into 5 back to $5.50, and Weary $4.40 into 4. All the cents been around the $5.50 $5 mark. My Kingdom of Fife is the first to come up. with Royal Descent moving in. And now Weary is coming forward, so change of tactics here to be ridden in a more forward position today. Now HAWKSPUR, Criterion out with Sacred Falls and also Tiger Tease. Criterion, the Derby winner, goes in. Sacred Falls coming up. HAWKSPUR to move up. And also Tiger Tease. So Tiger Tease will be the last to take its position. Sacred Falls into $3.40 now, so firming again late. And they're off now. Tiger Tease jumped in front on the outside. Royal Descent and Sacred Falls hopped out okay. And then Criterion going back behind them, followed by HAWKSPUR. Well, Weary's ended up near the back of the field. He didn't jump all that flash, and they're going pretty slowly early, so he's back second last with My Kingdom of Fife. Tiger Tease in front, but he hasn't crossed. Sacred Falls is right up there with him, only a neck off the lead, and Royal Descent on the inside as they amble through the first section. Then Criterion followed by HAWKSPUR. Weary second to last, and My Kingdom of Fife. It's Tiger Tease in front as they work to the side of the track, just crossing a little bit closer now from Royal Descent, and then Sacred Falls running third. HAWKSPUR and Criterion are another length and a half away. Weary second last, and My Kingdom of Fife a half away on the inside. At the 600 metre mark, and Tiger Tease in front. Royal Descent there might have got a slight check. Sacred Falls is coming up a bit closer on the outside, followed a length away by HAWKSPUR. Criterion on the back of those, and then came Weary as being hard ridden, and My Kingdom of Fife. Tiger Tease will lead for home from Royal Descent. Sacred Falls, HAWKSPUR looming up on the outside. Criterion getting a run between horses. Weary looks like he might have a little bit too much to do. Tiger Tease in front from Sacred Falls. HAWKSPUR, Criterion and Royal Descent stretched across the track. It's Tiger Tease the leader. Sacred Falls is going after it late. Tiger Tease in front from Sacred Falls. Criterion, Royal Descent, but he wins. Tiger Tease. Royal Descent has kicked on into second on the inside, and a photo for third between Criterion, Sacred Falls, and then HAWKSPUR. Weary didn't do much, and last in was My Kingdom of Fife.
Race fitness and a horse that just relishes wet grounds, the big plus here today. And number 4, Tiger Tease. GLYN Schofield just rated him in front, just tried to nurse him to the 1400. He wanted to run away from them a little bit in the straight. I don't think it did the forces on his outside any favours, but he still held them at bay. Number 4, Tiger Tease wins. I think right along the inside, number 11, Royal Descent will run second. 4, Tiger Tease, 11, Royal Descent. Close for all the others. I think Criterion, or is it? No. So it looks like, yeah, I reckon it's going to be Tiger Tease, Royal Descent, Criterion, and then between the others, Sacred Falls and HAWKSPUR.
I concur with all your thoughts, Rich, and I'll add in tempo, because the tempo of the race was so vital. I'm sitting here watching the race with Kath O'Hara, and the tempo of the race, Tiger Tease, all the runners had their ears pricked. They were going at such a slow tempo. It had to be advantage to the sprinter who was on speed, and they had to give him a head start. He was too slick.
Yeah, he's probably the only genuine sprinter in the field, and obviously faster than the rest of them, and they, I didn't see a lot of speed outside of him, and always going to get a soft time in front, and he handles the conditions beautifully, and he's done the job. So
pick of the yard from you, $5.50 starting price, $4.90 and $2.50. Royal Descent runs a terrific race first up. Ditto Criterion, ditto Sacred Falls. HAWKSPUR's maybe it's a tempo thing, but when Weary missed the kick Richie had in his speed map, him sitting behind them, maybe we need to be forgiving there.
Yeah, you could throw a blanket over the sort of second, third, fourth and fifth horses. So I think just the best run in the race won the race.